Hare
Hare Krishna.
Today we are discussing the story of Krishna entering the wrestling arena of Kamsa. Beautiful story how Krishna killed the elephant Kubalyapida while entering the arena to wrestle with Chanura Mustika and just go ahead to kill Krishna. On the day, just the previous one, Krishna and Balaram have been brought to Mathura on the chariot from Vrindavan by Akrura. They have arrived in the evening and have roamed around in the city. They have met the washerman, the garland maker, and in the night they are enjoying the meal given to them by Yasoda, milk and rice, and they have taken rest. Next day, the Shivaratri, early in the morning, is the wrestling match. The stadium is ready. Just to watch these two wonderful kids about whom everybody in the world, including Mathura, have heard about, Krishna and Balaram. Just the name itself is sufficient to give ecstasy to the heart of people. So whole stadium is completely jam-packed. More than the stadium of Wankhede that was jam-packed to welcome the winning team of India for cricket T20. Much more than that. Krishna is the biggest ever star, superstar, whom he cannot attract. Krishna's name itself means he is all attractive. But Nanda and the coward men who have come with all the taxes for Kamsa, they have gone ahead to the stadium to take their seats. Instead of going to the stadium, Krishna, Balaram and his coward boyfriends have gone to Yamuna to take bath, willingly to make a delay to go to the arena and to just irritate Kamsa. Kamsa has also come to the stadium and taken a big seat around. He is ready to watch the wrestling match, the Chanura Mustika, everybody have gathered, and they are waiting for Krishna to arrive. And Krishna is playing water sports in the Yamuna River with his friend. He is making it a play game. For him, is nothing. So there are many musical instruments being played, and from the stadium that is being played in the river bank of Yamuna, Krishna, Balaram, his friends are hearing that. They are not going, just to make a show. So after some time, the friend said to Krishna, Kanaya is enough. Kansa might get irritated and send his soldiers to kill you here itself. So let's go. Let's see what's going on there. Your father is already there in the stadium. He must be worried about you. So Krishna, he makes, okay, he says, okay, we'll go to the arena. So along with Balaram and his friends, Krishna comes to the arena. But just at the gate, Kamsa has kept a big elephant named Kubalyapid, with the plan that as soon as Krishna enters, he will kill Krishna. Assassination attempts. We are hearing nowadays failed assassination attempts. Those who are leaders, they are always the target. So various ways to hamper their growth. They should be prepared. And Krishna knows it. He has already faced so many failed assassination attempts. Every terrorist that came to kill Krishna has been so easily rather killed by Krishna himself. And it was not gunshot wounds or weapons. The persons used to come in directly to the person to kill. And Krishna was so alert, with inconceivable potency to easily kill them. And here now there's another terrorist, another demon, another plan, just to kill Krishna. Big elephant named Kubalyapida, who has a strength of 10,000 other elephants within him. This elephant is not ordinary elephant that we see in the world nowadays. This elephant is the elephant of Dwapara Yuga. And anyway, all the living beings in Dwapara Yuga had their strength much more than what we have now in Kali Yuga. And in this elephant, the strength was so much, even the demigods, devatas, they were fearful of fighting with him. Seeing the valor, Jarasandha had taken into his own army this Kubalyapida by fighting with him and taking it from Narakasura, other friends, and he has captured the elephant by his strength. That means Jarasandha was much more powerful than this elephant itself. And later on, Jarasandha had given his elephant during the marriage of Kamsa. So Kamsa had got this elephant from Jarasandha. And now Kamsa has kept this elephant at the entrance to the wrestling arena just to kill Krishna at the entrance. Assassination, murder plot. Krishna is ready. Krishna sees the elephant is just there. He knows the plan. He sees the plan ahead of him. So seeing the fight ahead of him, Krishna, he makes himself ready. Badhva parikaram saurihi samuya kutilalaka ubacha hastipam bacha meganada gambhiraya. Samuya kutilalaka badhva parikaram saurihi. First Krishna makes his waistcloth tight. Tightens his waistcloth. In a mood of fight, in his bilious, Krishna makes all these beautiful arrangement upon his body. Tightens his waistcloth. Krishna tightens his waistcloth before jumping into Yamuna, that lake, to fight with Kaliya. Kadambam adiruya tatoti tungya gadam asportya gadasana nepatat visode. Krishna tightens his waistcloth, slaps his arms after climbing upon the Kadamba tree, and then he jumps into the lake to fight with Kaliya. Krishna, when he went to Ayodhya, Kosal, to fight with the 7 bulls to win the hand of Satya, that time also he tightened his waistcloth. Evam samayam akarnya badhva parikaram vivuhu atmanam sabdada krutva negrunat lilaya evatam. Krishna expanded himself into 7 Krishnas to fight with 7 bulls at one time to win the hand of Satya as his bride, as his queen, as his wife. That time he tightened his waistcloth. Now Krishna, in his Birya, fighting spirit, like a warrior, like a hero. In the spiritual world, Krishna does not have any opportunity to fight with any opponent because everybody is devotee of Krishna. But here in the material world, there are always opposition to God. There is always opposition to Dharma. So here Krishna gets a chance to exhibit his Vidyaras, to experience and reciprocate in that fighting manner, like a warrior. So he's going to enjoy this fight. That's why he's readying himself with skillful mannerism so that it is a one-to-one nice fight. Badhva parikaram sauri samuya kutilalakan. He now gives a shape to his curly hair, beautiful black curly hair, tightens his pagudi. Samuya kutilalakan ubacha hastipam bacha meganada gahiraya. And he speaks out to the elephant keeper in a voice as deep as thundering cloud. Meghanada gahiraya ubacha hastipam bacha, to the elephant keeper. Ambasta margam no dehi apakrama machiram. Hey, elephant keeper, give me the way, give us all the way immediately to go inside the wrestling arena. Don't delay. And if you delay, you know what I'm going to do? Just that voice, the way Krishna is speaking itself is frightening to any person who hears it. Ambasta margam no dehi apakrama machiram no chet Sa kunjaram tuavya nayami emasadam. If you don't give us the way inside wrestling arena immediately, right now, I will kill you both, the elephant and you, and send both of you to the abode of Yamraj. Do you know what I am speaking? Krishna is so sweet, but when he speaks angrily, it can be frightening. But the elephant keeper was a nice follower of Kamsa. He was not so easily to be frightened. He got angry upon Krishna's words. We always want to hear sweet words. We don't like somebody chastising us. We don't like altercations. But the world is such, even God has to face opposition. Who are we then? Even if we are so nice, we are now describing the beauty of Krishna, the way he is reading himself. Just by hearing the beauty of Krishna, we are supposed to, and we automatically fall in love with Krishna. That same beautiful Krishna is there, who is to be welcomed inside our heart. By seeing Krishna's beauty, we are supposed to melt. By seeing Krishna, our all sinful reactions of lifetimes would evaporate. That's seeing that Krishna, that Supreme Lord, who is so rare to be seen, who comes only once in a lifetime, Brahma. Seeing that Supreme Lord Krishna is fortunate and unfortunate elephant keeper. He is fortunate because he is seeing Krishna. But he is unfortunate because he is not able to love him despite seeing his beauty. Eva nirvisita ambasta kupita kopayan gajam. Chodayamasa Krishnaya kalantaka emopamam. He instead got angry by the words of Krishna. Sometimes we need to be chastised by our superiors, by God. If we don't get reversals in our life, if we don't get chastisement for our sinful or bad karma, we might go crazy and do things that are crazy always. So we need chastisement. We need some punishment here and there all the time, so that we are humble and follow the religious principles properly. But chastisement is necessary from superiors like Krishna or his representatives. But here Krishna, though chastising, this elephant keeper is unfortunate that he is fighting back and he thinks he can kill Krishna. So he instigates the elephant, Kubalapida, with his elephant goad and makes him fall upon Krishna to kill Krishna. Kupita Kopayan Gajam Chodayamasa Krishnaya Kalantaka Emopaman. He was a huge elephant in size and as well as might. Karindratam Abhidrutya Karena Taras Agrahit. He lifts forward the elephant and with his tusk, he binds Krishna immediately to squeeze him. The elephants, all of us know, they use their tusk to uproot trees and thump somebody on the ground and press with their legs and kill and do so many powerful things. So, with a mentality to squeeze Krishna and thrust him on the ground, the elephant Kubalapeda binds Krishna with his tusk. Karindratam abhidrutya karena tarasa agrahit sapi amum vigalitaha nihatya angrishwariyata. But Krishna, instead being squeezed by Kubalapeda, he escaped to his hind legs and hid there. Easily escaped, just like when Kaliya captured Krishna, but for some time Krishna was captured by Kaliya within his hoods, within his coil. But when Krishna wanted to come out, tat pratyamana babusa bhetitatma bhoga. Krishna just expanded himself. By the expansion of Krishna, Kaliya felt so much of pain. He had to release Krishna. So Krishna came out. When Trunapata wanted to kill Krishna, he took Krishna to the sky. Krishna felt like a cotton, so light. But when Krishna wanted to kill Trunapata, just Krishna made himself very heavy. Like this, Krishna can exhibit unlimited, inconceivable power. He just escaped from the tusk of Gopalapida and hid himself behind the hind legs. So the elephant could not easily move. He's a big size, and he's trying to see what is this my enemy. Small boy. Krishna at this point of time is 10 years, 8 months old. 10 year, 8 month old, he has come from Vrindavan to Mathura. As all of us know, Krishna does not use any weapons to kill anyone in Vrindavan. Putana came, Krishna touched his lips to Putana's breast. Sakadasura, Krishna just touched his so soft feet. Prabala Mrudu Angri Hata Bevartat. Krishna touched his feet to the bullock cart, and his feet were so soft like a newly grown bird or a leaf of the tree. That soft it was. Just by the touch, the Sakadasura, the bullock cart, got shattered, and Sakadasura, the demon, died. To kill Bakasura, Krishna just used his 2 hands to slit his 2 lips. Bakasura, the crane demon. So Vrindavan is the abode of sweetness, where Krishna does not use any weapons to kill any person, any demon. So he had just come out of Vrindavan, and that sweetness is just flowing. Just the day before, in the night, in the evening, Krishna has killed the Dhobi, the washerman, just using his slap. So now Krishna is playing around Gopalapida, the big elephant. And playing, he's giving the elephant a chance, as if to feel, the elephant would feel the elephant can capture Krishna, capture God, and kill Krishna. So the elephant, not able to see God, see Krishna, Sankrudha tam achaksyana granadusti sa kesava. Elephant not able to see is now trying to see for Krishna with his smell. Sankrudha tam achaksyana granadusti sa kesavam Paramusat Puskarena the Prasaya Vinirgata. Again, by looking behind, going around, the elephant Gopalapida again captures Krishna with his tusk, but Krishna immediately again escapes, and this time, escaping from the tusk, Krishna Puche Prabhuya Atibalam, Krishna holds onto the tail of the elephant. Dhanusa Pancham is Satim Vichakar Seta Nagam Suparna Ivalilaya. And pulling the elephant by his tail, Krishna drags Gopalapida on the ground for a long distance. And everybody is seeing around. It's a public display. His teammates, the Gopa, the coward boyfriends, they are clapping. The Mathura Nagari residents, the citizens of Mathura, they are watching with amazement the display of heroism by Krishna. And there are other soldiers, they are fearful. They are also amazed, such a small boy, small kid, looks so beautiful, is so thin, so innocent, but he has so much of power, he can drag this elephant, who is like a huge mountain in size. Dhanusa Pancham is Satim, Vichakar Seta Nagam Suparna Ivalilya, just like a big bird, eagle. Sometimes it drags a big snake on the ground for long distance while playing to kill the snake. In this way, when Krishna is dragging the Gopalapida elephant, at that point of time, Paryavata Manena, Sabya Dakshita Achyuta, Brahma Brahmya Manena, Go Basana Iva Palaka. Krishna, while dragging, he is going right to left, left to right, and the elephant is trying to find out who is dragging me. The elephant is using all his force to find out Krishna. But not able, because Krishna is just escaping his sight. The elephant keeper on his head, he is troubled, agitated. After some time, Krishna stops dragging the elephant. Elephant gets up, Gopalapida, and Krishna comes in front of the elephant. Tata adimukam abhetya panina ahatya varanam. Krishna slaps the elephant on his face. And in front of him, Krishna playingly instigates Kubalapita to catch him. Pradyamat patayamasa sprusyamana padepate. Elephant is running to catch Krishna. Krishna is escaping. Sometimes Krishna is falling, getting up. Elephant thinks that I can catch Krishna. But Krishna escapes being caught by the elephant. Such nice play. Everybody is seeing the beauty, the how Krishna is playing around his elephant. Krishna gives the elephant a chance as if he can capture Krishna. This is how God gives a chance to the sinful person, sinful-minded people, to make them feel as if they can control God. They can conquer God. They can control the laws of nature. They can escape after doing any sinful activity. They will not be caught behind. But that doesn't happen so easily. Krishna is far more clever than any of us. We cannot escape Krishna's laws of nature. Neither we can escape Krishna. Neither we cannot control Krishna. Krishna gives us a chance to feel as if we control God. Then we feel, oh, we have conquered God. We have escaped. Now everything is in our hand. Time is in my hand. The whole my life's journey is within my control. I achieve what I plan. My plans will be successful. But it doesn't happen that way. Krishna always gives us reversals. The more egoistic we are, to that degree we feel the pain of our plans being reversed in course of time. So Kubalapita was thinking all the way, I am so powerful, I can control God, I can capture God, I can smash God to death. But it was his mistake. He was proud of his power, but not before God. Till he made God, his power of his feeling of his power could be okay. Till he made God, that time this pride will be smashed. Is being smashed by Krishna. Similarly, when we take shelter of Krishna, we should very nicely keep in mind that yes, I am now surrendered to Krishna. Krishna will give the situation what he knows is good for us, is best for us. We should submit. Rather than trying to give many justification that why I am being put into reversals in due course of my life's journey, why successes come and reversals come, both come. No. We cannot control Krishna. Krishna gives opportunity to make us humble so that we understand Krishna is in control, not we. That is the nature of Krishna, to make his devotee humble so that in that humble state of mind we can perform our devotion nicely. So Dhaban Kidaya Bhumo Patita Sahasa Uttita. Krishna is playing around and is stating Kubalapita, come, catch me, come, catch me, come, catch me. Elephant is going, Krishna is just sometimes falling to the ground, sometimes getting up. Elephant feels, I am going to catch Krishna now, but Krishna is out of his way. One time Krishna just fell to the ground for more long time. To make the elephant feel now Krishna is tired. So Kubalapita came running and he thought Krishna is on the ground, almost tired, now he cannot get up. So to kill Krishna, the elephant Kubalapita just dumped his two big teeth, the elephant teeth, into the body of Krishna. Thinking that with his big teeth, he will kill Krishna. So Dhaban Kidaya Bhumo Patita Sahasa Uttitaha Tam Matta Patitam Krodhva Dantapyamsa Ahanat Ksitim. But just the point of time when the elephant Kubalapita hit Krishna with his teeth, Krishna got up, nothing happened to him, there is no harm. Instead, that both the teeth and the head of Kubalapita, they dug into the earth. They went inside earth, got stuck. The elephant keeper is saying, oh my God, such a clever guy. He just immediately got up, just point of time, the teeth would have smashed Krishna's body. So now elephant teeth is stuck inside the ground. He's trying to take it out. Everyone is laughing at the beauty of Krishna's play. So Vikrame Pratihate Kunjarendra Api Amarsitaha Chodyamana Mahamatai Krishna Abhedavadrusa. So now elephant keeper got very angry with his elephant goat. He just hesitated. The elephant took the elephant, took his both teeth from the ground. Again charged at Krishna with high speed. Now Krishna thought, the friends of Krishna told Krishna is enough of play. Now we should enter to the wrestling arena to meet Kamsa. So Krishna Tam apantantam asaya asatya Bhagavan Madhusudana. So now Krishna thought, I need to end the game now. So when the elephant came, Ruhitva Panina Hastam Patayamasa Bhutale. Krishna held onto the elephant tusk and rolled him around and threw him to the ground just by with his left hand. Right. So easily. And the whole big body of the elephant just smashed to the ground. A huge noise. Patitasya padakramam mrugendaiva lilaya dantam utpatya tena hastim tena ibam hasipam cha ahnat harihi. Krishna dug out the two teeth of Kubalyapida. And with those two teeth, Krishna killed the elephant and the elephant keeper. Some descriptions say that when Kubalyapida trying to kill Krishna, feeling as if Krishna is on the ground and trying to kill Krishna, elephant Kubalyapida smashed his two teeth to the Krishna's body. Instead of Krishna, the teeth went inside the ground. And when he was trying to take out his teeth from the ground, that time the teeth got stuck to the ground and they were dug out. Anyway, but Srimad Bhagavatam describes Krishna actually took out the two teeth from the body of Kubalyapida, and with those two teeth, Krishna killed Kubalyapida. So after killing Kubalyapida and the elephant keeper, Krishna, Mrutakam Dvipam Usrujya Dantapani Samabhisat Ansyanesta Vishana Astruk Madhavindu Birangita Vira Sweta Kanika Badanamba Rupa Babhu. Krishna gave one of the uprooted teeth to Balaram and one of the teeth uprooted of Kubalyapida. From both teeth there is blood just pouring out, dropping blood. Krishna kept one of the tusk up in one of his shoulder and Balaram held onto the other tooth. And there was blood dropping from the tooth. Krishna, while playing around to kill Kubalyapida, had a lot of sweat. Dust was on his body, beautiful bluish, blackish body of Lord Krishna. And Lord Balaram was pure white in color. Dust was also settling on his body. On top of that, now this blood. Viduta Sweda Kanika, Ansa Nesta, Visana Asuk Madhabindu Virankita. The whole scene, everybody is seeing how beautiful these two boys are looking. Blood, sweat, dust, with different colored body, divine body of Krishna. What a combination. Everybody is mesmerized. Simultaneously, the beauty of Krishna, his prowess, his playing around with the big enemy to kill so easily, his cleverness, and all the while smiling, carefree, as if nothing is going on. Everything is within his control. The elephant thought he's in control of the time, the situation. But actually Krishna is in control, not the elephant. At this point of time, Krishna, after killing Kubalyapida, he is holding on to one tooth upon his one shoulder at a time, another tooth of elephant on the other shoulder of Balaram. In this manner, Krishna and Balaram enter the wrestling arena of Kamsa. Now this elephant, Kubalyapida, he was not ordinary elephant. There is a lot of history behind him also. That's what we are supposed to learn. This Kubalapeda in his previous life was a great prince in South India named Mandagati. He had a huge body, he was chubby, fatty. He was a prince, great prince of South India temple, South India country. One day he had gone to attend a big festival in the Ranganath temple. Sri Ranganathji, this temple is at the juncture of Kaveri meeting Bay of Bengal. Many of us go there. Sri Ranganathji was originally the home deity of Lord Sri Ram, or rather to say, of the Sun dynasty, Kula Devata, the family deity of Lord Vishnu. This deity was originally given to Lord Brahma by Vishnu himself, his Swayambhu Murti. And Brahma gave it to the Sun dynasty, Ikshaku. From Manu it came to Ikshaku, and since then it is being worshipped in Ayodhya as the Kula Devata, the family deity of the Sun dynasty, where later on Lord Ram appeared. After Lord Ram had killed Ravana, Vibhishana came for the coronation of Ram to Ayodhya. And when Vibhishana was departing, Lord Ram gave it as a gift to Vibhishana, his own family deity, so that he will remember all the time his association with Lord Ram. But when Vibhishana took the deity, Sri Ranganathji, from Ayodhya towards Lanka, at one point of time in South India, where Ranganathji is right now, as per his sweet divine will, Sri Ranganathji wished to stay there only at Ranganath temple, and later on big temple was built by the Sri Sampradaya. Now it is a famous temple, there is some festival, and Prince Mandagati, he has gone to attend the festival. It is such a huge crowd, like a stampede-like situation. Darshan is a long queue, and Prince, he's standing in the queue and lying in the crowd, and security arrangement is tight. He's not able to easily go through. He's a big body, chubby, fatty. He feels, so I am supposed to be the prince. I am supposed to, like VIP entrance. I can go easily, and but this crowd, they are my citizens. They are not giving me a chance to go easily. I have so many things to do. Me first. So he just pushed his way through somehow to the crowd. Because he's a prince, he can do something he thought he can do. So in the crowd, a lot of devotees there. Like stampede situation happened. Because he's just pushing through his way. He's a big guy, he's a powerful guy, he's prince, he can do. So that he goes first and sees, and his time is saved. In the stampede-like situation created by this Mandagati, many people in the crowd, they fell off. And there was a lot of chaos. One of the great saints, Sadhu devotee Vaishnava, his name was Trita. He was there, he was also in the crowd. He fell to the ground, there was a lot of people fell upon him because being pushed away by this prince Mandagati. He got angry. This prince, what he feels himself, what he thinks of himself. He's a big guy. Before the Lord, everybody is one and the same. Before the Lord, everybody is a soul, tiny, infinitesimal spiritual being, spirit soul. Today we are prince, tomorrow we may be beggar, tomorrow maybe next life we could be some tree or something else, depending upon our karma, depending upon our fate, whatever it matters. Just because you are prince in this life, big guy, big leader, we cannot make our way and do things the way we like to happen with around us. So he told the prince, you think you are a big guy, actually you are not meant for this position. Those who are in top position, they should actually humble themselves and lead others to their example of humility, and they themselves should first submit to the laws, rules that they commit for the world. You are a foolish guy like an elephant. Become an elephant. So because of this cause, this prince Mandagati soon was to become elephant. Very soon. That was his chastisement by the great sage for his benefit. So he asked for forgiveness. Okay. You are a great saint, whatever your words will come true, but I beg forgiveness. So the great sage Trita, he said, okay. In the temple of Lord Vishnu, Ranganathji, and it can happen. He was also a devotee of Ranganath. He came to take darshan of Ranganath. But whatever his mentality was there, it was not conducive so much to the environment of devotional atmosphere. So you beg forgiveness, so okay. You will be killed by Ranganath when he comes as Krishna. You will be touched by his hands and then killed by Lord Krishna himself. So because of this simultaneous curse and blessing of Seth Trita, this great prince Mandagati, he in his next life became Kubalyapada to ultimately get killed by Krishna. And Krishna, by killing Kubalyapada, not only gave highest destination to Kubalyapada, but also taught us the lesson that Krishna, while killing the elephant, does not only kill the person's body, but also kills the mentality behind that body. What is the mentality behind this body that has generated this elephant-like mentality? Me first. I am first. I am supposed to be at the top. Wherever I stand, the queues begin. I can make my way through. I don't care for others. People should respect me, give me way, so that my comfort is taken care first. So such mentality do not help us in our progress in a spiritual life. They are an obstacle in our spiritual progress, sadhana. So Krishna, while killing this elephant Kubalyapada, Krishna gave highest destination to Kubalyapada, but also taught us that such mentality where we keep ourselves, our comfort before others and make it a case that is harmful to others' situation. Such things do not help us in our bhakti. And such mentality can be killed by Krishna by surrendering to Krishna. So whoever listens to this pastime of killing Krishna, killing Kubalyapada, those who listen with attention, faith, and surrendering, remembering Krishna, Krishna helps in their life to kill such mentality, where the mentality of my name, fame, comfort is before others. That mentality can be easily restored by Krishna by listening to this pastime. That's why Lord Krishna not only perform these pastimes for namesake case, but behind every pastime, every lila, every story of Krishna, there is a lesson to learn, also an effect in our life, in our consciousness. The lesson is understood. I should not think that I can control Krishna. Krishna gave opportunity to Kubalyapada to control him, but actually Krishna was in control. So lesson for us to learn is that we cannot control God, but God controls us. And a much more lesson is that the sadhana, the obstacles to our sadhana, that Krishna can kill, this mentality, this envy, that is harmful to our progress of bhakti. That is much more essential to implement in our life by hearing these pastimes again and again. Because our life's journey to Krishna consciousness is lifetime's journey. Where such obstacles are the obstacles that jam up our progress on the highway to bhakti, successful surrender to Krishna. So Krishna, while killing Kubalapada's elephant also, many acharyas describe that a Vaishnava aparahad, offenses to devotees of Krishna are also like mad elephant. mad elephant offense. Vaishnava Aparad is described by the Acharyas. So when we offend a Vaishnava, our bhakti is totally obstructed. That's why Krishna, in the story of Nilika, he instructs his children. Krutagasam vipram api naiva druyata mamakaha grantam snapantam va nitya namaskruta namaskruta nityasaha granta sapantam va granta bhu sapantam va namaskruta nityasaha. If a devotee of the Lord, if a devotee of Krishna, God, Vaishnava, he is doing something that you feel harmful to you, do not fight back. Do not harm the devotee of the Lord. Naiva duryata mamakaha. Krutagasam vipram naiva duryata mamaka. If a devotee of God is cursing you, even trying to kill you, do not try to harm that devotee of God. Krishna will take care. That is the instruction Krishna has given to his own children in the story of Nilika. So Krishna is so careful about dealing with his devotees. That's why Vaishnava Acharyas describe offense to a devotee of Krishna is like a mad elephant offense that totally uproots the simple loving, that creeper of devotion that we have planted in our heart. Bhakti Lata Bija. Bhakti is just like a creeper, it is like a seed that is supposed to grow like a creeper and then become a tree that we have planted in our heart. But that seed can be easily uprooted by the elephant which enters into the arena of our bhakti. The Vaishnava Aparad. The Kupala appeared like a mad elephant and he was trying to kill Krishna. So Krishna, by killing Kubalapida, also is showing, by taking shelter of Krishna, we can find ways how to mend our ways without offending Vaishnavas. Also we can achieve our goal of life, whatever we wanted to do, so that devotees are not offended and we have also our path chalked out. So taking shelter of Krishna is essential. Through these stories, Krishna is teaching so many lessons. And after killing Kubalapida, Vruttam Gope Katipai Baladeva Janardano Rangam Vivisudu Rajan Baladanta Darayuto. With the two tusks on each shoulder of one on the shoulder of Krishna, one under the shoulder of Lord Balaram, both of them being beautifully seen by the citizens of Mathura in the stadium. There is sweating, there is dust, there is blood, that is playing mentality, like they have put on very colorful dresses, like wrestlers, like playful child. The whole stadium gets up to welcome Krishna and Balarama. But seeing the dead elephant's tusk on the shoulder, Chanura, Mustika and all the wrestlers who have assembled in the stadium, they are frightened. Oh, this small kid, he has killed a big elephant so easily, without being any harm done upon him. How can we ever fight with him? Maulana Masani, they feel, oh, he is a powerful guy who has come to kill us. Seeing this heroic welcome, Nararam Narabo, all the men who are seated in the stadium, they feel, oh, he's a powerful, heroic guy. He has come like a superstar now, rockstar entry, superstar entry. Malana Masinai Naranam Narabapo Strinam Smaramurtiman. And all the women in the stadium of Mathura who have assembled to see this wrestling match between Krishna, Balaram and Chanura Mustika, they feel a handsome guy has come. Such a beautiful, handsome guy. There will be nice friendship with him. Gopanam Sojana and there is Nanda Maharaj, all the coward boys sitting in the stadium, they feel, oh, our own family relative, he has come. Gopanam Sojana Asatam Khitibujam Shasta. Those other kings who are allies of Kamsa, they feel, or he is there to chastise our unruly behavior. Gopanam Sojana Asatam Kitibujam Sasta To Pitra Sisu. Also they are sitting Vasudev, Devaki, Nanda. Yashoda has not come. Nanda has come to Mathura. So Vasudev, Devaki are seated. They are seeing their children for the first time. Krishna and Balaram. They feel, oh, our lost children. Vasudeva feels, oh, I had swapped this boy of mine in the house of Nanda. Now he's grown up 10 months, 8 month old. Vasudeva is seeing Krishna after 10 years, 8 months. His eyes rolling tears. So Pitra Sisu, my son has come. I'm seeing both of them after a long time. First time, grown up kids. Murtyu Bhojapate. Kansa feels his death, my death has come. He has arranged for the death of Krishna, but seeing Krishna, he understands. So there's a fear in his heart. Some heartbeat stop. Oh, my death is entering. Murtyu Bhojapate. Murtyu Bhojapate. Virat Abhidusam. And there are many who are impersonalists who see God in his godly light feature. They see, oh, there's a beautiful divine light approaching us. Yogina Pradev Virat Abhidusam Yoginam Pradev Yoginam Tattva Param Yoginam. Tattva Param Yoginam. Those who are many yogis, sadhus sitting, for them their Supreme Lord has come. Vrishninam Paradevapati. And there are many Vrishni dynasty devotees of Krishna who are waiting when will Krishna come to our life and he will save us from the torture of Kamsa. They feel Vrishninam Paradevapati. Our Supreme Master has come to give us joy. Vididva Rangam Gata Sabiraja. In this way, Krishna is entering the arena of Kamsa's stadium to the wrestling arena. But he is being perceived by everybody, those who are present in the stadium, in different way, how they see God. Same person, somebody feels his death. Somebody mentality. Everybody's consciousness. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Je jatha mam prapadyante tam tatheva bhajami ham. Mama vartavana vartande manusya partha sarvasya. The way we approach God, God will approach us. So the way Kamsa approached Krishna, he wanted to kill Krishna, so he saw Krishna's death. Nanda, Yashoda was not there. Nanda, Vasudeva, Devaki, they are seeing my child. I'm supposed to love him, give love to him. Many women, girls are there at Mathura, they have been hearing about how Krishna has done so beautiful pastimes in Vrindavan. They were also waiting to see Krishna. Oh, when we'll also get opportunity like the gopis to see Krishna, roam with him, play with him, dance with him, chat with him, date with him, talk with him, see face to face him, see him face to face. The ladies, girls are thinking. And those who are sadhus, yogis, they are thinking their own way, maybe Supreme Light, Brahman Jyoti, Brahman, or maybe Paramatma, Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord Krishna himself is present, but the yogis feel, oh, he is Paramatma. In this way, God can satisfy everybody's desire. The way we approach God, in that way, Krishna will approach to us. Pibanta eva chaksurbhyam, lihanta eva jihoya, vikranta eva nasabhyam, srisyanta eva bahubihi. All the residents of Mathura, the first time Krishna entered from Vrindavan to Mathura, in the arena of Kamsa, as if they are drinking Krishna in their eyes, as if they are licking Krishna with their tongue, as if smelling through their nose, as if embracing with their hands. They welcome Krishna to their heart. We'll stop here. and wait for further description of Krishna's beautiful entrance into the arena of Kamsa after killing Kubalapida. The lessons taught by Krishna by killing Kubalapida are hugely significant to all our life. That the mentality of Mandagati, that the way he pushed through his way among the crowd, making himself me first mentality, others late. I am supposed to be at top than others. My facilities, my comfort are priority. My credentials are priority than others. Such mentality to push back others and think yourself to be special than others. If you think yourself to be special, you cannot have the mercy of Krishna. And if we are sincere and take shelter of Krishna, Krishna must smash this mentality, I am special. Then only we can progress in spiritual life. That's Krishna specifically teaching us through this healing of Kubalapida. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.